All right, now we got some MLB news about the potential reallocation of the season and how it might start. We kind of talked about this last week. Some new news about this, eh, Chris?
Yep. So MLB has announced that a back-to-play proposal is being put through the works, going to the players' union, going to the owners. We're going to get news sometime this week about baseball returning. So that's really exciting. Proposal is that it's going to start early July. Some people are saying as early as July 1st. So a month and a half out from baseball. How exciting is that? Like I'm hyped.
Yeah.
And players are being encouraged to prepare for a mid-June spring training. Some people are going to saying it's going to start June 10th. So really, this stuff is going to happen fast. If you're a player, you've been sitting on your ass the last few months since spring training got cut in half, and you went home and you're just waiting, and you've just like no news. People are saying what's going to happen, and now all of a sudden it's like GMs are calling. Managers are calling and saying, get your ass ready. We're going to play some baseball very soon. So, I mean, this is going to be a very interesting to see how the pitchers get ready.
Do you think that's enough time? June 10th would say, you said it, here's the earliest that they would start spring training. Is that enough time, do you think?
I think if you're a position player, yes. I think but pitchers, that's going to be the toughest thing. Because when do pitchers report in like February for spring training?
Well, I mean, and now they had a little bit of spring training, so it's not like if they had that start of the warm up, if they kind of did some away from the field stuff at their houses, they could still be in warm shape. So you can kind of speed run it to get the season going.
And apparently a lot of players have been going to kind of team training facilities a little bit kind of under the table.
I was going to say, I didn't think you were supposed to. I didn't think they were allowed to do that.
I think I heard you'd probably have to double check that. Like I think I saw that Twitter sometime. Like there's some
You're
players
just out here snitching on guys.
Yeah, maybe I'm going to get people in trouble. No names. I don't have any names, but I'm sure people are doing. A lot of these guys are multi-millionaires. They're finding somewhere to go.
Yeah, it's probably Madison Bumgarner.
Yeah.
Man's going to a rodeo. Man's going to the team facility.
Well, this is just extra rodeo time. He's got to prepare.
Fair enough.
I mean, the animals, it's not like they can just be left alone. Someone's got to be taking care of those bulls and stuff. And Madison Bumgarner, he has to go out on the farm and do that. So anyways, this needs approval from the owners and players. The players, as we talked about last week, because this proposal most likely puts everybody in their home stadiums. So players are going to be real happy to stay with their families, which is nice. Now, what's juicy about this, where this is going to be there's going to be some of a battle here between the owners and the players. Owners are pushing for the league to force salary reductions. Now, the players' union has already agreed to take pay cuts based on amount of games played in 2020. But now the owners are saying, well, there's not going to be any fans in attendance. We're not going to be able to fill our stadiums. There's no gate money that we're getting. So the player salaries should account for that. So that's going to be interesting to see if the players' union agrees to yet another cut to the pay. What do you think?
That's a tough one, because it makes sense, you know what I mean, that less games, less fans, less revenue, that you should take the pay cut. But then on the other hand, when the players, I signed the contract, if I sign for a really small amount and then I go out and put big numbers up and get you a lot of money, you're not going to be like, well, you've actually earned a lot for us, so I'm going to give you some more money. They're going to say, thank you very much. You are a great deal. You know what I mean? So in this situation now, I get it, because this is unprecedented situations, but at the same time, they signed the dotted line. They've earned that money. I think if they get paid less this year, at minimum, it should be deferred money down the line. They should still get their full value.
Yeah, and the interesting thing is, I mean, the union has already agreed to a cut for the games. So this is aside from the games. This is just in money for ticket sales. And I mean, once you've already kind of signed a deal about the one thing, it's very hard to go back to the players union and say, hey, look, we're going to need another cut. and the owners are trying to get the league to kind of mandate that, like, this is not something the owners are going directly to the players. The league is playing kind of middleman here. So it just makes everything all the more complicated. And I mean, if you're the players union, I mean, you've already conceded the ground for the games, which is the big money. That's where, like, more of the money is going to be in the games lost. Because I mean, television sales are huge. Jersey sales, all that is still going to be going on. Right. So, yeah, I don't see the players union agreeing to anything like this. And I don't think the owners, like, because what are the owners going to do? Say we're not going to have a season this year? And
also, if you're the players union, there would come to a point where it'd be that if you're losing too much, where you just go, it's not worth us for us to come back.
Yeah,
just sit the season out.
So like, the owners have more to lose if everybody just decides to walk. So I don't think the owners are going to get this.
No,
but I mean, that's like Rob Manfred is going to have to figure a way to sign up the owners to this plan without doing that. And I think they're going to come out strong. They're going to say, we really need this. But at the end of the day, you're not going to say no to a season if you're an MLB owner right now.
No, we won't.
So the GMs and managers starting to get the boys together, starting to call people up and say, hey, so-and-so, get ready to play. This is what it looks like. So now the GMs and managers are starting to kind of get the ball rolling. So the gears are really in motion for this. Like, people are really kind of, okay, we're let's get out ahead of this and let's get ready. So that's a good sign. That's a really good sign that the players are starting to get notified that because like, for such a long time, this flow of information to players was so little. Like, we were talking to Scott Holtzman, and he was saying, UFC fighter, and he was saying how his MLB buddies, like, a month ago, we're just getting no word from the MLB. It was radio silent. He was talking about multiple athletes in different sports, but most.
Yeah, that's Jan Gomes is his MLB friend there too.
Yeah,
pretty high profile catcher too, to not be getting any information.
Not getting any information. So now it's good that the GMs are and the managers are kind of stepping up and saying something, and players are getting information, which is a good sign that the gears are really in motion.
Yep.
And as I said, the games are going to be played in home stadiums. Likely to incorporate the changes from the second reallocation proposal, which we kind of covered.
I mean, we covered both of them, and obviously the second one was a lot better options, had a lot less cons, and it just is overall, I think, going to be the best possible way for them to complete this season.
Yeah, and then the good news is, starting early July, we get 100 or 80 to 100 games. So that's like the best we could have asked for, given all this stuff.
100%.
Only losing like 62 games, like, that is unreal. Super exciting. Now, the interesting thing, so the players union has to agree to this. There's some players who are at this point anonymous for obvious reasons, who are saying that, what if I want to opt out of this season? What if I feel like I need to stay with my family during this time? I don't want to be traveling, get my family sick. I'm a little bit old. Like, obviously, this is a lot of if you're a younger player, you're up and coming, this is not really a big concern. Maybe there are a few younger players that are concerned about this.
Well, I mean, if they have health concerns too.
Yeah,
like,
if they have health concerns,
like, has asthma. I'm trying to think of anything else, like just any health concerns overall. That, you know, I mean, it's very fair for them to say that they might have to skip out on the season. And
if you're an older player, we maybe have, like, the older you get, the bigger your family gets, you know, there's more concerns on that side of the job. And you don't want to get your kids sick, you know? So it'll be interesting to see who, if the season happens, who opts out, what happens to those players who opt out. And the players union, I think, is right to kind of go forward and say, well, if we're going to sign a deal on this, we need to make sure that those guys are protected. Because, I mean, who can blame somebody for saying, I don't want to take the risk this year?
I agree, but it's a tough situation. And then again, have those guys be paid.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. So you have to, my thought would be, okay, like, if I was negotiating with the players union, I would say, okay, you can do that. You just don't get paid. and that's the
because you
reality.
can't, because it's such a liability. Because if they have the ability to be paid, you got some guy that's like doesn't really care about coronavirus, but he's nursing the injury, knows his production is going to be low. He's going to sit the season out to protect his value for future contracts.
Exactly. So there's like if there's any pay that goes to people that opt out, you're just asking for abuse.
Yeah. No, and then I'm not saying they don't have to be paid at all. You can get a small percentage or something, enough that, I mean, they're gonna live on it. But yeah, it's tough to just have them go, especially when we were just talking about that they might be already taking cuts on the people that are playing.
So but anyways, it'll be interesting to see. Like the kind of juicy story is really the last week, the reallocation plan, putting, if you didn't miss it, putting both leagues together, so it's a one big Eastern Division, Central Division, Western Division, and you're going to stay within your division to kind of limit travel, so you're not going across America, you're staying in your division. So really interesting stuff that we unpacked last week. And this week
we started off the episode with that. So if you guys want to go check out episode 15, we started off, we're not going to rehash all the stuff, but we had probably 30-minute discussion on it, so go back and check that out.
Yeah, go back and check it out, because really, I mean, this week's news is just, okay, now this is getting put before like this, we're kind of in the limbo stage between the proposal, the negotiation of the proposal, and then the official announcement. And the official announcement, tune in next week on the pod to hear our thoughts on what the MLB announces as the official proposal, because that's coming this week.
Yep.
So moving on, there's some still in the MLB realm. They also, in addition to this, they announced the MLB draft rules for the 2020 draft.
Okay.
Now in a tweet from Ernest Dove.
First, before you, who the hell is Ernest Dove?
I don't know. I just saw a tweet from this guy, and
was he at least verified?
I think he was I don't know.
Oh
my cousin sent this to me, a screenshot of the tweet. So okay. Like my cousin is Noah, who big fan of the podcast, is going to. He's this guy right here, actually.
So he's not going to lead us wrong.
He's not going to lead us wrong. Don't you worry. Okay.
Sounds good.
I trust Ernest Dove. Okay. I trust him. Okay. Well, and the thing is, here's my logic too, right? The tweet had like 200 retweets. It had
that was it.
Well, okay. Well, wait a minute though. Think about it.
I think it was 200,000.
No. But think about it. I thought that was low too. I was a bit sketched out because I was that is low.
I'm looking it up while you're talking.
And then here's why. Okay. MLB draft. Who talks about the MLB draft? Okay. Of like 200 retweets on a tweet about the MLB draft.
Oh my goodness. That's because he's a Mets minor league writer. That's why you found it. Not even verified. 2,200 followers. Come on.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Well, I'm seeing through the holes of your story here. Okay?
Yeah, okay.
So we're gonna assume that this guy that sounds like a soap brand is correct here. So roll through the new proposal here.
According to Ernest, this is gonna happen June 10th. So imagine you have the MLB draft, and then the same day, pitchers and catchers and hitters and fielders all show up for like late. It's more like summer training. And so it's going to be like baseball. This is the day baseball comes back, and it all starts with the MLB draft, which is exciting. It's only going to be 5 rounds. And I think it's usually like 40 rounds. So it's only going to be 5 rounds. And teams can utilize their allotted money as they see fit. And undrafted. Now, here's where this free-for-all starts. It's going to be nuts. All right. Undrafted player signing period begins June 13th. So 3 days after the draft, everybody that's unsigned, which is going to be a lot of people because there's only 5 rounds, that just opens up the floodgates. It's a free for all. Who can sign who first, basically. And
that is wild, especially because with the draft being as big as it is, there'd be a lot of targeted players that are going to be undrafted after 5 rounds.
Yeah, and so a $20,000 max signing bonus for that period.
That's not a lot.
Not a lot. No, not at all. And then the draft signing deadline is August 1st. So the MLB news that's going to be coming out on June 13th, as all the GMs and owners try and call up guys, just like mad free for all. There's going to be rounds and rounds and rounds and rounds of undrafted players.
But here's the thing, though: if you're an undrafted player with that as your signing bonus max, like unless you're a bona fide stud, go back to school.
Yeah,
go back to school, improve your draft stock, come back when the world's not a shit show, and get your money. Even if you are a stud, fuck that bonus. You know what I mean? Yeah. Go back to school, improve your stock, come back, get paid.
That's fair. That's actually not a bad idea. But I mean, like if you're this is gonna be so nuts. Like it's gonna be absolutely like I wonder if, I guess it starts at like 9:00 the morning of June 13th. Like guys just waiting on the phone, like have their list of guys, and it's just like you get all your goons to like be ready on the phone and just like.
And this is like one thing too. I will say though about the MLB draft, the fact that like this year is gonna happen before the season even starts. But why is MLB the only league that has their draft middle of the season? Why does this not happen in the off season like every other sport?
Yeah, no, it doesn't make any sense. Well, I guess like you got a college baseball season. You got to like have it after college baseball season.
And that's
which is in the spring.
Yeah,
high school baseball season.
I guess, but
because when else are you going to do it?
But I love baseball. I love the MLB, but they have the worst draft ever. Like, for televised, like it's not entertaining. No, in my opinion,
it's not an entertaining draft at all. Like the NFL does it right, and every kind of sport follows that.
Yeah, I think the NBA does it best. NBA does it best, and then the NFL and the NHL.
Well, I mean the NH or the NFL and the NBA have the benefit of being the sports that are the two most popular college sports.
Yeah.
That's true. That's the night. Like that's really where like, because if the interest was there, MLB would put more effort into their draft. But
yeah, that's the thing. Like in the first round of the draft, like if you watch college football even semi-regularly, you're gonna recognize quite a few names.
Yeah. But then on the flip side, if you're watching the MLB draft, it's Joe Schmo from high school or Joe Schmo from a college that you never watch a college baseball game unless you go to it. And then also you have the added thing, NFL, NBA, the guys that are getting drafted are going pretty much straight into the league almost. NBA is a little bit different. NBA has the NBA, G League, but still
they're going straight to the league.
They're going straight to the league, especially the early rounders. They're going straight into the pros. MLB, you're not seeing a guy could go the first round and you don't see him in the MLB for another 4 or 5 years, and like if he even makes it into the MLB.
Yeah.
So MLB's got a lot of kind of uphill kind of battles to fight in order to get people interested in their draft. So maybe I think this is an opportunity to, like, based on the success of the NFL draft that was like the biggest draft ever this year, and it was hugely widely anticipated, talked about event. And now the MLB is in a situation, well, hey, we're the first sport that, like, if this goes through, we're the first sport to get going again, other than UFC, which is a totally different kind of animal. Like we're the first teams.
They're not comparable.
Yeah, we're the first, like we're the national pastime, and we're coming back. We're in a position where, like, hey, we could put our draft as the start of our spring training. It marks the beginning of baseball returning. Let's make this kind of a cultural event. It's 5 rounds, so it's very easily consumable. Like you're not going to have to watch for a whole weekend in order to kind of get every part of the draft. It's going to go very quick, I imagine. I think this is a chance for a huge MLB draft if they get on social media and market it right.
Yeah, I can't see that.
Which you can't. Yeah, you can't see it because they're a bunch of old men over there at the MLB.
Yes, you're very right there.
So
yeah, but I mean, hopefully they smarten up. But I mean, some things just never change.
Yeah, some things just, And I'm saying like that's the best case, everything falling into place scenario for the MLB draft being good, but at the same time,
And
it's
this
the
is if
MLB
we
draft.
trust Ernest Dove too.
Yeah, if we trust Ernest Dove, and okay, like, Ernest, don't fail me. Don't fail me.